Monday.
No case of the Mondays in this studio. Right?
Never.
No, hell no.
Actually, I had a little bit of case of the Mondays earlier before you guys got here, and you know what happened? I took one of these upgrade brain formulas. I'm telling you, man, it works. I got a couple for you over here if you want some. You bring some with you.
Is that a new sponsor?
It's
maybe?
a new sponsor.
Ooh.
Upgrade Brain Formula, freemanformula.com. You go to their website, type in promo code disruption, get you a 15% discount.
Yeah.
Open up your brain receptors.
Yeah,
it combats
like that.
stress. It combats fatigue. It's awesome, man. I'm telling you, I did not want to come in today. I didn't. And the only thing that carried me through was not only because you were going to be here today,
I appreciate
Nick,
that.
and I haven't seen Justin in a while,
True
but
story.
Upgrade definitely helped me out a lot.
Hell yeah.
So go to freemanformula.com, use promo code disruption, get yourself a 15% discount. Shout out to EJA too. Dude, EJA did all this work for me over the week. Mm-hmm. They did such awesome work for me.
I saw your mom on Facebook because we're friends, and so you were writing stuff, she was writing stuff, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it yet. So.
I had them all over the city of Utica the other day, and they were picking up this, picking up that, and they came in, they did their job, hung out, and they were just super cool, man. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up EJA at 315-335-0516. Drop my name, it might work. I don't know. Well, you never know. It depends on what kind of mood Daddy's in.
Oh, you want
it's worth a shot.
You want the Z discount at $50?
That motherfucker owes me.
Yeah, right.
Also, shout out to Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. Check it out if you want some fine dining in the Utica area. 315-864-3527. Thank you to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery, my attorney Dave Longaretta, and of course, Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for 15% discount.
I got a bone to pick with them.
Me too, man. I got to get some too. I'm out.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out too.
I mean, and with the weather yesterday and the day before, I can't afford that.
You're playing out in 90-degree heat yesterday.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm not a skinny man. I mean, I was kind of looking at myself like we got a TV in front of us here, and I just realized that the camera adds 15 pounds, but I look like it adds like 27 pounds at least.
And if you had some nut rub, you'd probably.
If I had some nut rub, I could work it out and not feel like I have to sweat so bad down there and chafe and stuff, and I could work out. Maybe lose some of the.
But I was thinking about you this weekend. I was working the Syracuse Nationals, and I used my final rim of nut rub during the Nationals, and I'm like, man. This was Justin was talking about right here.
Yes, and it's like devastating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's like, oh my God, I can't even get a little bit out anymore.
You have absolutely no salvation whatsoever when you get to that point. You're at the very end, and you're literally just like, dude, no, this is not good.
Not good.
Yeah, I'm not. Just not happy right now. I'm in a state of constant funk.
Well, some ball wash and nut rub will help that funk.
Man. It will. So if they're watching right now, if they're watching right now, I mean, I need some.
We'll definitely make that. I need some too, bud.
Yeah, hook us up.
I love it. Man.
Help the boys out. Come on.
My boy Nick Talarico, our boy Nick Talarico, hanging out with us today. He's a stagehand extraordinaire all over the place. And dude, you're working all these hot summer gigs, man. I'm sure you can use some nut rub.
I mean, it's the ironic thing is that the only real times I've seen sunshine is when I'm not at Beaconsgift. For some reason, we've just had nothing but storms and rain all year for shows there. We had to postpone Modest Mouse from a Tuesday to a Thursday because there was lightning.
Wow.
We were setting up for Death Cab for Cutie last week, and it was the same thing. We had lightning, I think, strike within 6 miles of the venue, I think, or something.
They shut it right down.
Yeah. Basically, it's just until it's like a precaution until the storm cell passes over, and then once we get clear of I think it's clear of within 5 to 7 miles, we're good to go back to work.
That's great.
I think the rule of thumb is 10 miles.
Yeah.
10 miles in.
Yep.
And then you got to kind of shut it down.
Yeah, and then that's just talking about with lightning too. You have all the actual wind regulations too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So different mile per hour levels as you go up. Certain things have to land. You know what I mean? But
so do you have to bring the trusses down?
So it all depends,
Something
really.
like
The only time that we've really had that happen was, I don't remember if it was for a group called the Head and the Heart or if it was for Bright Eyes. We had winds that were up to 38 miles an hour. Oof. So we literally had to, the lighting trusses come down, the line array comes down, everything gets covered up, and you basically evac the stage.
Right.
Wow.
And the whole venue pretty much.
Basically, yeah. Fortunately, when that happened, the doors hadn't even opened yet, so the only ones that were on site were the artists and all the road crew and all the local hands and techs too. So luckily we lucked out there, and then it passed relatively quickly, and then the show was right back on, so it was cool.
So they have a giant stage there, obviously, right?
No, so honestly, what we've been doing all summer has just been the SL stage line stages.
Okay.
The 100s?
No, we've done 320s.
320s.
We've done 250, I think, at Omegang, and then we did a festival. There was only like 4 of us over in Pompeii at Heritage Hill. It's called Bright Vibes. It was for like a lot of the local like craft brews and like the brewers and like the micro brews and the area and stuff. That was only an SL 100, so there was only 4 of us to do that. Austin, Avanchek was there, his dad, myself, and a friend of theirs. His name was Rich, and it was just the 4 of us, and then all the guys from Atomic Pro Audio.
I love those SL 100s. You just press a button; they're like a transformer of stages.
I had forgotten exactly how small it was,
It's
and
small.
to see it towed in with like a 3600 pickup truck, it kind of brings back those memories where you're like, this isn't going to be anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was cool because a couple hours the stage was up and we were done ahead of schedule.
Yeah. The city of Rome owns an SL 100.
Really?
They have a better stage than we do here in Utica. Utica has that shady 1970s band shuttle thing.
They got the idea from Alien.
But the SL 100,
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
that's a
Very
banging
well, yes.
stage, man. For a city to own that, we're using it at the queue on the barbecue, the queue on the canal in August. So
Nice.
it's a great stage.
Cool.
Matter of fact, Showtime Trio's playing on Alien's bandstand at the.
Very cool.
But we have the food truck frenzy thing down
When
there.
are you guys playing? Which Wednesday?
Wednesday. This coming Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How big is that stage? Is it the same one as
It's
Utica?
the same one as Utica. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, it might actually be older.
Gotcha.
From what I can remember.
I mean, I remember that stage from when my dad was still in Looking Back in the day.
Yeah.
Going all the way back when they used to play the Alien Days and stuff.
Well, looking back, I mean, him and I have a connection that's way back because his father, when he was in Looking Back was like the guys that gave us, one of the bands that gave us our start. So
Really?
Yeah.
And your dad, that was your dad's band?
Yeah, he played with them for quite a few years. He did two different stints with them. He was in the band with Ernie when Mike Morrow was playing, and the bass player's name was Randy, and I forget his name. I mean, this would have put me at like age 3 or age 4 maybe. This is when they were playing the Sunrise over on Herkimer Road.
Well, that's where we used to open up for them.
So that's obviously where because I remember that, and I was telling my dad a long time ago, and he goes, "Well, do you remember Justin?" And I'm like, why do I feel like something to do with the summer? He goes, yeah. He goes, he's like, when Showtime was really getting their start.
When we were 3P, we were actually Jose, Joe, and I when we first started. I mean, this is like 1994 or 95 was when we were opening up.
Your kids
for Looking Back, and like because they were playing when we started playing like the very first benefit we ever did, the very first time we performed in front of people, as a band. Looking Back was like I think they were the. What do they call it? Hosts of the benefit.
Okay,
everybody was using their PA, drum sets. Well, I think Joey's dad he had supplied his drum set, and once we played, they were like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, and they started talking to Barners about just getting us in and getting us started. So, we owe a lot to, a lot of credit to them for getting us our start.
They're great guys, and pretty much every guy that I ever remember associated with that band was always a class act. Ernie and Bobby, God rest Bob's soul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were just incredible guys. They really were, and they, it was really cool because for me this would have put me at like maybe between the ages of 3 and 5.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I remember going when Ernie lived up at the top of Watkins Road. They used to have practice up there. My brother was, not even 6 months old.
Sure.
And, it's time to change the diaper. And it's like, well, Sam, where are you going? And it's like, I got to go change the kid upstairs. Just let the 5-year-old play. Don't worry about it.
Right, right.
And so, seriously, and some of the guys in the band were kind of looking at my dad like, I mean, and as any adult would, you know what I mean? You're going to send your 5-year-old up to play, but no, like I'd bail out, I'd pound out old time rock and roll and like run around Sue and stuff.
Sure.
And like the guys are looking at me going, "You're 5, kid."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're hanging out with us. So that's always I've been able to say that I've had a very supportive, musical core around me from the time of when I started.
That's
you know what I
awesome.
mean? And those guys just happen to be a part of it too.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Which I'm grateful for.
We have a bunch of people checking out Facebook. Got to give a shout out to everybody. Hi to Joe Town. What's up to the Motor Lord folks? My mom's checking in as always. Genesee Joe says, Justin, you guys sounded great yesterday, even if your nuts were sweaty.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Nick, Genesee Joe also wants to know, are you Frank's son? No. What's your dad's name?
No, my dad's name is Sam.
Are you related to Frank?
I don't believe so. No. I want to say that his kids went to Frankfurt. Same last name, same spelling. But as far as I know, no relation. But we all know how old world Italians are.
Oh, yeah. We're all related in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Somehow.
Well, the entire village of Frankfurt came from San Giuseppe, Sicily. So, I mean...
He's not wrong.
Not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Mine did too.
We also got our friend from Vegas checking in, Danny Nolan. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Hopefully we'll see you soon. I think he's coming to town really, really soon. So, Nick, the big news this weekend, and it was a little bit under my skin, and I'm glad you came in. It's kind of perfect timing because it's like one of my all-time favorite bands, and that's Pantera.
Yeah.
Announced this week, Phil Ensemble and Rex Brown announced that they are going on the road next year under the Pantera blanket. They couldn't have picked the best two candidates. That was the best two candidates they can have to fill the show.
Zach Wilde
on guitar, and
Charlie Benante
from Anthrax on drums, which is the two best fillers you can have.
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
No.
But the whole thing is, and it's really driving the metal community crazy, is they're calling it Pantera.
Wow.
But what Zach Wilde yesterday was saying, they want to call it like a celebration of Pantera, which I think that's the way they should go.
It's more accurate. It's not the label of the band, you know what I mean? Because I feel like that brand name, you know what I mean, is synonymous with Dimebag Darrell and Vinnie Paul, you know 100%. What I mean? I think if that's what
their band, they started it.
Yes. I think if that's the way that they're going to kind of go about that, is that they're honoring the legacy of Pantera, I'm all for that. I would probably be in the pit smashing somebody, you know.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I think that's great. I really do.
Do you think Vinnie and Dime are turning over in their grave? Because before Vinnie passed, they absolutely couldn't stand Phil. There was such a rift going on there. Yeah. Such a feud.
I think, like, with the way that they're kind of going about this, I don't really see any disrespect to the memory or legacy of Dimebag Darrell or Vinnie Paul. I would hope that they're looking from, and I'm not going to call it anywhere, I'm just going to say the great beyond. Sure. I hope that they're looking on that with a kind heart, you know what I mean?
For sure.
They're looking down on two guys that just want to keep their legacy alive. You know what I mean? Be it that the parting ways was not best between them and one of those two members, you know what I mean? But I think that's the best thing. If Phil and Rex go out and it's about honoring the legacy of Pantera, I don't think that really anybody can hate on it. At least in my opinion, anyway.
It's going to be the tour of summer of 2023.
I'll be there.
It's going to be the show.
I'll be there.
Everybody's going to talk about it, and they couldn't have picked the best two players. That's
absolutely.
Dime and Zach Wilde were really good.
I feel like you kind of have to get, if you want to call them fill-in players, I feel like you might have to get them from that same era to get that same kind of attitude.
Sure,
I don't feel like you could bring in a modern guitar player and a modern drummer and have it work.
Well, I don't think either of them play like that anymore. Any of the more modern kids that are coming out right now, they don't know how to play like that. It's a different style altogether.
It was a lot more about attitude back then. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's not as much about that anymore. And I kind of feel like that's what, at least with the world of heavy metal, that's really lacking. You know what I mean? Like, you listen to, and especially with getting into modern, production and modern recording, everything is so perfect. You know what I mean? It's slip edited and quantized and absolutely snapped to the grade. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like
you lose that feel.
Exactly. And like I'm totally guilty of that. Like, my band is absolutely like that. Sure. Like, I play to the grade. I'm like on the money, try to be on the mark. And I noticed that there's a slight more bit of like an attitude when we kind of just sit live in the room together and play. You know what I mean? Yeah. But basically what we've been doing is because it's just the two of us right now, my friend Alex and I, we took our entire record, took the whole thing. We took the hard right pan guitar, we took it completely out of the recording, took the drums completely out of the recording, and then I literally play to that. I'll play to that. That's like my backing track. That goes through my PA, and all I literally do is I hard pan him and my board hard pan him to the right. Yep. So all of the backing rhythm guitar tracks come out one end, he's coming out the other end. Yeah. And the biggest thing was I've played to a click, a metronome for so long. you like the misconception is that you think that the more you do that, the more beneficial it's going to be for your playing. And I really feel like that it stunted my feel and like my inner clock. So I told my guitar player that. And I said, well, do me a favor. I said, send me the record. I said, pull those one set of guitar parts out, pull the drums out. I said, but don't put a click track to it. I said, just send me the wave as it is, and I want to practice to that. I did that for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then he came down to the studio, and I just said, I'm going to play the 3 songs along with the backing track. You just tell me what you think. And he said it. He was like, I played the 3 tracks, and he's like, dude, he goes, you got tighter.
Yeah.
He goes, why is that? And I said, and I honestly, I really feel it's because I'm playing to the sounds and the space in the music instead of playing to that click and trying to hit that. So I really feel like that was the best thing I could have done. And and the more we practice, the more I play to it, the tighter we get.
Sure.
So it's just I'm like super pumped about that.
That's great. Yeah, I love that.
pumped.
I love that. I don't know, the organic feel. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
I think with this is we want to capture the essence of both. We want to be able to have anybody come out and see us play, and then pick up our record and say, it's not 100%, but it's there, and I get it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's the biggest thing is what we're trying to do right now, and I feel like we've really gotten it down. Maybe it's only because it's just the 2 of us for right now. You know what I mean? We don't have a band just yet. You know what I mean? But you know, I feel like as long as we are the structural foundation of this group, if we're solid, we can pull in any bass player, any vocalist, and be like, okay, here's the songs, boom. And they're going to look at us and say, okay, you guys are tight. Like, that's that much easier to either learn the material in the room on site, or do you have tabs? Do you have a recording of the wave? You know what I mean? Which is all stuff that we're actually doing. Like, we're going to tab out all of the parts. We can send out all of the isolated recordings. So
That's
like if we need to teach a bass player, here's all of your parts. They're all set and ready to go. I've actually been doing that with my session, is that I'll load up the MIDI sequences, because I programmed all the drums on the record, basically played them on my electric kit. I have it's like a acoustic to electric hybrid kit.
Oh, cool.
And it's got the mesh heads and the triggers and stuff on it, and I just run that right into a normal drum module.
Oh, wow.
And I send the MIDI into my interface, so I can basically treat that like a MIDI controller.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Controls, get good drums. What else did we just get? It's made by a company called Mixwave Audio. Is Thomas Pridgeon's drum pack.
Oh, cool.
And it's incredible. That's actually, like, we did some EQing, but those are the VSTs that we used for the record.
Oh, wow.
And I'm super happy with it.
Yeah,
They sound super real.
Yeah.
With programming drums, especially with like Superior Drummer and a lot of the VST programming now, it's so easy to sound fake, and it's so easy to be like, that's clearly not a human playing that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we are so meticulous with it. I have drummer friends that are asking me, okay, so is this you on your acoustic kit tracked with the mics? Is this you playing on the E kit, or did you just pin click program it all? And I make them guess. It's like, well, what do you think?
What do you think? Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the one thing that I've been able to kind of really kind of get underneath my thumb, you know what I mean, is realistic drum programming lately.
Right.
So that's kind of, we're just kind of keeping on that route, you know what I mean? The record's done.
Super cool.
Biggest thing is for the end of the year is to start doing like actual official playthrough videos and stuff. I put my phone on a music stand the other night, and I was just like, literally, I'm like, I'm not going to turn anything on. We're not going to do anything. I literally just want you to Ashley Simpson along with the track through the monitors. And that's what we did. And I took a very, very low qual program on my iPhone. I edited some fade in and fade outs, the band logo, the name of the song, official guitar playthrough, like a flash on the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so for being super low qual, for being done at like 11 o'clock at night, this is as bad as it's going to get. What do you think? And he's like, I like that. Like that, we can make this work
for sure.
So that'll be coming at the end of the year too. Like we're trying to push the record probably for about the fall time.
Yeah.
We're not really setting a deadline with it. Like there's no label, there's none of that. This is literally he and I getting back together after 6 years apart, saying we're grown men now. What are we gonna do? And this is what we did.
Wow.
So
sick.
Nice. When do you expect to have it out? Wouldn't you say by fall?
But we're trying by the fall. There's no official release date yet. We've basically just been taking this kind of like a week at a time. You know what I mean? We'll basically start on a Monday. By the time we get to Sunday, we look back and it's like, what did we get done this week? We got this, and this done. It's like, okay, cool. And we've been doing that basically since the beginning of January.
Cool.
And we've gotten
putting that work in.
Yeah, dude. Like, and we were talking about doing the small work up front to really kind of, once it's time to actually drop the big bomb, we're all set and ready to go. So he's been getting small pieces of merchandise. Like we have actual like buttons, like backpack buttons.
Sure.
He had coasters made. We have Bic lighters. He had guitar picks made. I was super fortunate the last couple years. I know that the last time I was here was when I got a lot of the endorsements that I had landed. I had a signature drumstick made, so like all of that is literally just all stuff to throw into the merch store.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that, and it's like literally, and we said it's like we don't want to go all in. We don't want to have 4 or 5 T-shirts, a hoodie, a hat. You know what I mean? All this stuff. Let's do small things for right now, and let's get one T-shirt design out. We had one made. We're super happy with it. Super minimalist. Nothing crazy about it. White shirt, plain black block lettering. You know what I mean? And just see how it's recepted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to overload because we're not a new band. You know what I mean? But I mean, this has been inactive, you know what I mean, and lying dormant for over half a decade.
Wow.
So it's kind of just, the biggest thing was us just testing all the equipment.
Sure.
Like he put a lot of the VST stuff that I have now on my computer for me, a lot of the neural DSP stuff.
I love that shit.
Oh, dude, no, like
so good.
The Gojira sim is arguably the best metal rhythm tone for sims. Like that's what I use basically for all my rhythm tone.
Oh wow.
The Nolly sim. What else did he put on there? Like Plini and Abasi and like all that stuff. But like the drum software was the big game changers because now I have the ability to be like, I don't need to do like what my last group was doing where we went to Massachusetts. Be it that was awesome. We were going to a major studio working with a major producer. I've always kind of wanted the independence to just do it on my own. And
here you are.
Here we sit.
Yeah, good, man.
So that's the biggest thing is
do it yourself, bud.
And the biggest thing is just always making sure that you always show the humility that you need to, because that is what really breeds the positive results in the end. You know what I mean? So it's you can get distracted so easy. You know what I mean? And this year has literally just been nothing but literally put my head down, do the work. And there's been no outside distractions, no issues, no inner conflict between band members, nothing, you know what I mean? So it's a very chillax environment, and it's in my studio. It's on my terms, you know what I mean? And that's what Alex and I talked about the other practice day that we had, was that we can just do this because we want to do it. There's no we have to do this. This has got to get done. We just want to do it.
Man.
We had one jam at the end of last year, and we're just like, dude, we can still do this. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let's sit on this for a couple weeks. He came back a couple weeks later. This probably was like the second week of January. I had relearned some of our old material. We played it, and we're just like, do something new or resurrect ATE. New ATE. And we're just like, there's no question. You know what I mean? So we're very pumped to bring this project back.
It's awesome, buddy.
It's great.
Good. Well, welcome back, brother.
I appreciate you both.
Welcome back. We had a bunch of people checking in about the Pantera thing here. Let's see. Phil regrets never getting to have resolved the situation with the rest of the guys. That's from
that's
Motor
absolutely
Lord.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet that's another reason why he's really gung ho about this. Also, I feel it's a cash grab too.
It could. I mean, yeah.
And then Masucci saying Dime would have handpicked Zach if it was up to him.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. 100%. I don't disagree with that at all.
And Vinny would have handpicked Charlie. You know, in fact, Vinny's on record saying Charlie's like one of his all-time favorite drummers. And if there's anybody to fill Vinny Paul's shoes, it's Charlie Bennett.
Like I said before, there's no better options there.
It really is.
I'll be there. I don't care how much tickets are. I'll be there.
They're going to be expensive.
And Joe Town says she'd love to see him, but she's going to pass on the pit. I can't see in the pit, Joe Town. I really can't see that happening, but it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, all the diehards in Pantera, they're all getting up there in age now. I don't get that. Like if we all got in the pit, be like,
I'm seeing pits nowadays.
All right, man, let's just stand here and go, yeah, motherfuckers, you guys so great.
What's with the thing with the pits and people doing push-ups in the pits now? Have you seen that?
No, I
haven't. My God, it's a thing now.
I haven't.
Where guys are in the pit doing push-ups and they're doing a circle around them.
The best one will actually go back to when I was playing. When I was playing in Priapism, this is back in like 2012. We played a show. It was on Broad Street. What was the name of the club that was over on Broad, over towards the east? That was a Club Piccolo. I want to say it was over by over beyond where KO is.
Yeah, right.
And so Priapism's playing. The vocalist that was in Eyes of the Coliseum with me, even before that, his name is Thomas, came out to the show, was hanging out and stuff. Priapism got done. I forgot what other local band played after us, and there was this thing what kids used to do is they would kind of reach down and they would grab at the floor this.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm looking and I'm like, what the hell is Thomas doing? He actually walked over. Somebody threw a quarter in the pit, and he literally walks over in the middle of the pit and just bends down and picks the quarter up. There's a picture of this online, and I was dying the other day when I saw it because I saw it and I was just like, oh my God, he's picking up change. That's what they used to call that. Kids were picking up change. Thomas, someone actually said, they're like, oh, I heard the kid. He's like, I wonder if anyone will pick this up. And he tossed it, and Thomas walks right over and picks it up. I was like, that's too perfect. This will never happen again.
I heard it called pulling shrubs, too.
That could be another one, too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Pulling shrubs.
Absolutely.
Just get down and start. I don't know. But yeah, nowadays they're doing push-ups in the pit.
I have not.
Get down and drop down and give me 20.
Yeah.
I know.
What happened with just beating the fuck out of each other? I mean, why do I got to do work on top of that?
Turn it into a push-up contest.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Do you know what I was always the king of? I was the king of crowd surfing. Obviously not local shows and stuff, but I remember going to Warped back at 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it was I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to swing at kids. I didn't want to literally throw hands in a pit. I wanted to crowd surf.
Yeah.
Even more fun than that is stage diving. I've gotten the chance to do that a couple times for one of my buddies, his band when they played in Seattle when I was living on the West Coast. I actually had to talk to their tour manager who talked to the venue that literally said, no, he's a friend of ours. He's done this before with us, you know what I mean? Because I had done that when they would play in New York. And the venue owner came up to me and he goes, you get hurt, it's on you, kid. And he walked away, and I was like, that's my cue. That's fine.
I got this.
So, no, they were filming, too. For just a live stream. This was in 2016 or 2017.
Right.
And I told them, I'm like, they're like, if you want me to do something, I will. You know what I mean? And probably caught about 7 or 8 feet off the top of the stage.
Wow.
So probably a good 12 feet above the crowd.
Damn.
So, yeah. That's fun. It's all
I've always
fun.
wanted to do all that stuff. I wanted to stage dive and crowd surf, but
you'll slip a disc.
No, but I figured if I stage dive, I'd only get 3 inches off, but still like 250 pounds come crashing down on a group of people. Have to be about 25 guys.
I will be totally honest with you, Justin. I have totally seen a dude. The biggest dude I actually have ever seen stage dive before is probably 6'5", and I would probably assume anywhere between 240 and 250.
Damn.
So it's I think the biggest thing is that as long as you kind of give them the hey. They'll catch you. They will catch you. Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's the biggest thing is that initial contact between the pile that you're trying to hit. Long as they see you coming, I'll bet you my last bottom dollar they'd catch you.
Wow.
You guys got to catch an Andy Frasco show because he has races of people crowd surfing.
Oh, that's cool.
Who can get from the back to the front the fastest?
That's cool. Yeah.
He does that.
That's
at,
awesome.
Big
I like
festivals
that
and stuff like that. There's some funny videos out there of
that's cool.
Them. They did it at Funk and Waffles. Him against Jack Brown from Sophista Funk, and who could get from one end to the Funk and
that's
Waffles
cool.
to the other end.
Nice.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, there was a lot of crowd surfing going on at Woodstock, right? 99.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
Probably. I was not there.
I imagine there was.
I would imagine, because I feel like that was right around the time when it became super, super popular.
Yeah, you figure when Korn and Limp Bizkit and all those bands kind of broke out on the scene.
Sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know who the first artist was to crowd surf?
I don't.
It's a trivia question for you.
I don't know.
Come on, think about it. First artist to crowd surf.
Is it an artist or a lead singer of a band?
It's a lead singer of a band.
Eddie Vedder.
Iggy Pop?
Iggy Pop, yeah! It was Iggy Pop. Very good.
No knowledge. I kind of just pulled that one out.
It was Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop was the very first one to ever do a crowd surf thing.
I didn't know that.
Eddie Vedder just popped into my head because I was like, didn't he stage dive from 30 feet up or some shit like that?
He did. Yes, but who's the dude that did it in Utica? What was the band?
Boy Hits Car.
Boy Hits Car.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember what was the remember the band they had that song, Jenny says, turn off the radio.
Cowboy Mouth.
Cowboy Mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll never forget. It was like K-Rockathon or something they were playing, and like you hear the lead singer was a drummer.
Yeah, he's right up
boom,
front.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 and he's hitting the bass drum, and he's talking, and all of a sudden we look in his drum tech sitting down there playing drums. He's talking. We can't see him. Nobody knows where he is. Right. All of a sudden, like people in the front row, like, oh my God, he's on the top of the fucking stage, literally singing. He comes right back and let it go, let it go, let it go. I was like, this guy's amazing. Oh, so cool.
I'll keep my feet planted right on the ground.
Yes.
I don't do good with heights.
No,
like that.
no.
Yeah, the boy hits car though. He jumped and he did it at the state fair too, at the top of the freaking the scaffolding was eye level with
God.
Like the crown of the building there at
was it Chevy Court?
Chevy Court.
Oh my God, seriously?
No,
Yeah, he
dude.
jumped at 40 feet.
No,
There's
dude.
video of it. You can
No
watch it
way.
online. You could search
way.
boy hits car jump.
And they caught him, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
and
Lord.
that
Sure.
was maybe 10, 15 years.
Yeah,
it
I
was
was
a
gonna say,
while
yeah.
ago.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
a long, long time ago. Well, he jumped like 50, 60 feet.
Yeah,
That's
no
insane.
way,
Nuts.
dude. No way.
It's nuts.
I had it took everything in me to. Speaking of, if we're talking about stagehand stuff, I found myself running spot in the event center, and I was not aware that the spot was in the ceiling. So,
oh no,
Javier comes up to me and goes, "Do you want to run?" I think this was for Jesse's girl, Rick Springfield.
Yep.
So, and I'm like, "Yeah." So I had only ever seen the spots positions in the theater setup where they're not in the full event center. So I'm like, okay, I'm in the upper tier. It's fine. So Keith comes up to me and goes, all right, you ready to go up in the ceiling? And I'm just like, oh. So I kind of just kept quiet. I didn't say anything other than to him and to my lighting lead, Andy, at Turning Stone. So I came down, I went, I did it, was no problem. Talked to Javier, and I go, yeah. I said, I didn't realize I was going to be up in the ceiling. I said, I'm kind of afraid of heights. And he's like, well, that's something to tell me before. And I'm like, I needed to prove to myself that I could do it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, I really feel for those riggers up there, man, because you wouldn't catch me up there every day.
Yeah, it's a dangerous job.
I was loving the commercials they had for Rick Springfield because it was like Rick Springfield plays the hits, and I'm like, can you picture the rest of that commercial? Like his hit, Jesse's Girl. You know that I wish I had Jesse and Jesse's Girl. You know, I wish that they just keep playing over
Do
and
you know
over
what
again.
surprised me the most? Because I really don't know anything about his music.
Yeah, me either. Yeah,
he's a very good guitar player. He was shredding solos and trading off solos with the guitar with his lead guitar player. And I was like, I didn't know he could play like that. All right, respect.
Yep.
Masucci's saying those spots are a bitch.
Yes, and he would know.
He would know.
He would know.
He's probably spent most time up there more than anybody.
I had to tell myself that I could do it. If I wouldn't have been able to really prove anything to myself if I was like, oh, I can't go up there, I'm afraid of heights. I was like, just keep your mouth shut and just go do it. You know what I mean? There's heavier guys up there that walk the grid all the time. They don't fall through. You know what I mean? You're fine, kid. Just go up there.
Dylan Spencer saying you'll find Sammy sleeping up on the grid in the Turning Stone.
He would probably be sleeping on a beam, in all honesty. If it was up to him, that's probably where he would be sleeping most of the day, is up on a beam.
Yeah. I was training a new employee at the Stanley, and when you go underneath and you can see the grid, and there's plywood.
Yeah.
And the person that was training with me goes, "What's with the plywood?" I go, "Oh, that's where they sit and hang out and kind of escape from everybody."
Right.
Because you can't put a camping chair up there on the grid. It'll fall, obviously. But they have it on the plywood. That's a good escape for some of you.
I've never been up all the way in the ceiling at the Stanley, to where the weight loading is. I've never been up there. I've only been to the first run where a lot of the rope pulls are.
Yeah.
I haven't been up all the way to the top up there yet. I'd like to go up there once.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? With heights, if I have to climb something, I'm screwed. They say don't look up.
Yeah.
If I look up, I get vertigo. It makes me kind of fall
makes you go backwards,
You know, but if I'm up in the grid, even back in our high school auditorium, I used to go up there all the time and stuff. And as long as I'm surrounded by something and I feel like I'm in control, then I'm good to go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can go up in a tall building and that doesn't bother me. You know, but it's the climbing thing. I could never do the ropes in gym class just because I literally would fall off.
No,
Get to a certain point and just let go.
I feel you. Yeah, no, for sure.
Crazy.
Damn. It's dangerous. Though.
It is.
It is. You got to have a lot of balls to be a rigger.
Yeah.
You really do.
You do. You got to have a lot of balls.
I mean, I'll down rig all day long. I don't care. You want to go up there? That's fine. You tell me what you need, and I will down rig for you all day long.
Yeah.
Tell me to go up there, I'm gonna look at you and be like, well, maybe.
Those crazy bastards are fun to watch, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you just sit back and you watch them and you go, that better him than me. But then you sit there and you're like, wow, that's really good work that they do.
They really knocked out that Springfield. They hung all the points. I mean, super quick.
Wow.
So I commend all those guys.
Absolutely.
Keith and Sam, all those guys. Nah, like, you guys go up there, do what you got to do. I'll stay down here with my feet on the ground.
Visucci saying, try hanging those lights on the tree in the balcony. You're just hanging from a cable.
Believe it or not, I actually did go up there once, and that was like right when I first started for the Utica Union. And I told Joe Finelli, I was like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not the greatest with going up there. So every time I go up there now, if I do anything, I'm usually with Larry. So it's great because he'll be like, I'll go up there, it's fine, and I'll just be like, I will clip you your lights and I will hoist them up to you, brother, man. Don't worry about it. I did find myself I did go over the balcony edge and actually on like where the Licos are hung up.
Yeah.
I did find myself out there, so that really wasn't too bad. So
nice. What's your next show? What you got on the docket next?
So I have to be at. Actually, ironically enough, the next show I'm going to see, I'm not even working. I'm actually going, believe it or not, as a patron. I have a stage build tomorrow at Omegang, and then they have, I believe it's the Nationalist.
Wait, they keep tearing down the stage at home again?
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what the correlation and like what the actual what the calls are between the Stage Line Company and Atomic Pro Audio. There's days like where we'll have, say if it's like maybe a 2 or 3 day run, they'll leave the stage up. We'll just land everything. We haven't had a gig at Omegang, I don't think, since Lake Street Dive, and that was the same night that Primus was, so that would have been
May, right?
Yeah, May 27th, I think, or 26th or something like that. With this install is going to be all the way through the 29th, I believe it's staying. This weekend, we are doing a Latin music festival at Omegang for Hall of Fame weekend.
Wow.
So,
oh, yeah, Big Poppy's getting inducted. That's right.
Yep, we're going to be, we're all at Omegang. The stage is staying. We have to build a media platform. We have to build projection screen towers on the stage. I believe, like on the outriggers, I believe that we have to fly those up. I'm not really sure what we have to do. This is my first actual Hall of Fame weekend down there. I just know it's going to be busy. So we're that's the builds tomorrow. They have the show Wednesday. My wife and I are driving down to Bethel Woods Wednesday. We're going to see Dave Matthews Band.
Awesome.
And it's my first time ever seeing them.
Really?
First time seeing them.
You're going to love it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Saratoga with the sound. So for me, yeah. I've only ever seen shows from the lawn, and I'm not crazy about the sound out there. And I've never been to Bethel.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, I said, I'm not crazy about going to SPAC. I said, if they're playing anywhere else that's close by in driving distance, I said, well, no. And she said it. She goes, they're playing Bethel on the 20th.
Yeah.
I said, get the tickets.
Get the tickets, yeah. That was the only time that I've ever been to SPAC that I really enjoyed the sound was I went to see Dave Matthews Band years and years ago, like late 90s. And I got in the door first. Like we were right in the front of the line for the lawn.
Yeah.
And as soon as the doors open, you know how it is. Everybody starts running, sprinting
Mad
down,
dash.
and it was awesome. And they're all running and like trying to beat everybody to the thing. I latched down to the fence right behind the soundboard.
That's
best sound I've ever heard. It was
you're not going to get better in front of the house.
But I'll tell you this: the first time I went to Lakeview, I saw James Taylor, Jackson Brown, and I had an absolutely fantastic time. Nice. It was incredible. Like the sound was great, everything was great. I loved it because we had indoor seats, but they had this lawn area on the side where they had beer and merch and everything for the people that are inside, and nobody was there. My wife and I ended up abandoning our seats and just sitting on the lawn on the side just watching. You could see everything, you could hear everything great, and
that's awesome.
We kept going right across the hall right here. We would just go right over there for beer, and we just sit there and drinking beer and watching great music.
I still haven't seen a show there, honestly.
It's super,
yeah, I've not seen a show there. Yeah,
I really
Beautiful
enjoyed it.
Sunsets at night.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
When that sun comes down behind that lake,
for sure,
it's so beautiful.
That's awesome.
It's a great venue.
Yep, I agree.
It's a great venue. Spec does get a little weird though on that lawn, and
it does.
And sometimes I feel like they oversell, so it's you're
they always oversell.
Yep.
Always
on top of people.
And you know that, I mean, he plays, it's the first, is it the first week of July that he's there every year? I want to say like the first or second week. It's going to be a madhouse because you know that he's coming there. You know what I mean? You know that that's what you're going to expect. You know what I mean? I think that it's nice to go to Bethel because like I said, I've never been to the grounds down there.
Now, is that on the Woodstock site?
So what I was told is that the actual hill for Woodstock 69 is a protected site. You can't go on the grounds, but where the Bethel Arts Center is, you can actually see the grounds from where it is, I guess.
Copy that.
So that's kind of what I'm going to see, but I've never been down there.
So it's in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what all my friends have told me. Like I work for another company called Spartan Racing. They do a Spartan event down there. Yeah. My boss at Beacon Omegang is the one who actually got me into doing that. Yep. So kind of to just like supplement for like the fall and the winter, like when the outdoor season dies down, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're not really going to get anything other than like what's in the event center or what comes through the Stanley or whatever comes through Syracuse, you know what I mean? Right. That's just a nice way to supplement the winter. Yep. And I get to travel and they pay for it.
Yeah.
So
well, I'll tell you, we'll be very busy at the Stanley come fall.
Good.
Very
Good.
busy.
I heard there's is there a tech rehearsal or something that's like already the second week or something like that
September,
coming in?
Yeah.
Cool.
Book of Mormon too. Which is great.
Which is Trey and Matt from South Park.
South Park, yeah.
So
they're in for like 2 weeks. And
hey, Dave DeCola, I'm free that whole run.
Yeah, right.
They're in for 2 weeks for a tech, and then they do a 2-night run.
That's good. So now are they opening the show at the Stanley? Like that's what's up right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the beauty about the Stanley is like it has such a great facility for these tech shows to come in and start their tour in Utica, New York, and then go on for a year or two. It's amazing because the facility is the best. It really is. I've worked at every theater in upstate New York, and nothing rivals the Stanley. No, seriously, nothing does. Does not, man. Cool, man. I have to cut this short a little bit, though, because I got to run out, and I got to go meet with our boy Genesee Joe today.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a meeting with him in a little bit.
I love him.
We're going to probably get together and complain and bitch, but we're actually doing a spot together, so it'll be great to see him and stuff. But
he's a good guy.
The man, and, he's still doing it for the local music scene, man. He's like the godfather of the local music scene.
I'll be
the
honest.
uncle. He's the crazy uncle.
Yeah,
he is the crazy uncle.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's the crazy uncle that like when you show up to the family reunion, he's the first one that like when you're a kid that you want to go talk to.
You get excited to see.
Oh yeah,
you're excited to see it. I had one of them every family reunion. Him and like a couple of my family members, they'd be the ones behind the tree smoking weed.
Yeah.
That was my crazy uncle.
Mm-hmm. And that's me at the family reunions.
Right.
That's me at my reunion, too.
Yeah.
All my family's super straight-laced, and I'm just not. So, whatever. Is what it is.
Yep.
I love it, man. You got anything you want to plug before we bounce?
Yeah, I'd really love to. So I have my own recording studio, as I know both you guys know.
Yep.
I'm in Ilion, New York, right down a quick drive from right up here in Utica. I can do just about anything that comes to multi-track recording. I've been focusing on doing like drums and drummers mostly. I have a local band that just came in. They actually cut their first single with us. Austin and Bobby Ruffle and the guys in Pepper on the Salad.
Oh, cool.
So they came in. They did their first single with us. We're finishing that up right now. We're finishing some saxophone stuff up.
Cool.
But yeah, the studio is basically just kind of where I've been basically when I'm not at gigs. I've been doing that, and then the group, I'm in a new project called Animate the End. My friend Alex Simmons is from Syracuse. He and we did a record a long time ago, like I know we were talking about earlier. We kind of just got back together, and we're just kind of testing out new software and new gear, and we're kind of just like, hey man, let's get the project back on.
If people are interested in recording with you, how they get in touch with you?
You can hit me on Facebook. Like I have social medias for the studio. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. You can find me on my personal Facebook page too. Shoot me a message by all means. I talk rates. I talk kind of just what I like to do as far as recording and kind of the way I like to do things in the studio and stuff. Super open to work with anybody. I'm not opposed to any style of music. If you're a band, you want to come in and cut something as a full band. If you're a solo artist, just you and an acoustic guitar, I'm fine with that too. More than willing to do session work as well if you need anything added to your music, you know what I mean? Drums or anything, percussion, anything like that. Very, very minimal rhythm guitar playing. I'm even capable of doing that. But yeah, that's
Go figure, a drummer that plays guitar. They're like a dime a dozen, man.
All drummers want to be guitar players. All guitar players want to be drummers.
Not good enough to be Kirk Hammett, but I mean, I can bang out some James Hetfield for you.
Right.
But no, I wanted to just say not only thank you to you, but for Justin as well. I know the only times I've ever come up, we've done it's just you and I on Wednesdays. I want to say thank you to both you guys for letting me come in on a Monday and chit chat with both you guys.
Of course.
Always a pleasure to see.
Definitely,
for
great
real.
pleasure
both
to see
you
you.
guys.
It's great having you, man. I'm glad to catch up with you.
Really appreciate it. Everybody listening and watching, thank you guys all very much. I really appreciate you guys so much.
Awesome. Nick, you're the man. Justin, where are you at this week? Well, you probably got a busy week, right?
Okay.
I didn't like that sigh.
Tonight,
Let me check my schedule.
Wait, no. Tonight, Port Tim at Fratello, 6 to 9. Tomorrow, nothing. I got a board meeting, though. Hang on. Wednesday, Showtime Trio at the Food Truck Frenzy in Ilion. Thursday, I'm playing a clam bake at Cedar Lake by myself.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Friday, Showtime Trio at 1 Jenny. Saturday is a wedding, and we're playing the Coloca Estate Winery way out there in Sterling, New York.
Oh,
this place is gorgeous. Oh my God.
Oh, fancy.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. We got to play a wedding there a few weeks back, so we get to play another one. So that'll be fun.
Cool. You got a full week.
Yeah.
Always, man. You're always killing it.
Trying.
Always killing it.
I'm always bummed. You guys are never at the space when I'm there, and I always get super excited when I see them there.
Yeah.
Or if I see the trucks downstairs, because for me, it's like a break for what I'm doing. Like if I'm super in with a mix or really trying to get some drum editing going, you kind of just get to where you're racking your own brain, and I can kind of I shut my desk down and I just listen to them rip. You know what I mean? And it's really cool. Because
Well, you're always welcome to come down and hang, man.
I absolutely will.
Well, I mean, we've kind of taken over a second room that we have as a lounge, so we'll practice and then we'll hang out afterwards.
For sure.
So
what nights are you guys normally there?
in the summertime, probably one time in the summer we'll go there. We've practiced once this summer.
For sure.
We've rehearsed, and it was only because we added a horn section to the Boilermaker.
Oh, for sure.
Show.
For sure.
So all summer we won't practice, and then wintertime we'll go back in and we'll learn a whole bunch of new materials. So that way, every summer we're coming out and we're coming out with newer material.
For sure.
Our core fan following will hear all those songs as they get learned throughout the winter.
Yeah.
But the people that don't get to hear us in the wintertime will be pleasantly surprised the next year with the new material.
You're always putting that work in, man.
I do have one request. Can I make one request from all of Showtime? Let me get some more Phil Collins in the live set, man.
Ooh. I would love to. Well, I've been really, really pushing for Abacab by Genesis. I really want to do that song.
Love it. I love it.
I love when you do Easy Lover.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Well, I love watching the people in the crowd that when I start doing the Philip Bailey part and their eyes bug out of their heads because they're used to Ryan singing high all the time, and then I bust out and do Philip Bailey, and they're like, wait, the guy that smokes and drinks beer and does shots out back with us is doing Philip Bailey? How is that even happening?
It's always really good. That was one of the things that I was telling Joey when I worked with him at the Stanley one of the last times I saw him, is that's like that. And you guys play Something Happened on the Way to Heaven too? Do you guys play that? No. That would be like a great song for you guys to do.
Sure.
Honestly, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a soft spot for Phil. You know.
Well, I do too, and I have a soft spot for ballads in general.
Right.
I'm just a ballad guy. I had this idea of I'm just gonna start a band. All we're gonna do is play 80s love ballads all night long, and just watch everybody sit in the back and cry, and just at the end, just go. That was just so great. Oh my God.
It's all your prom hits.
Yeah, all the prom hits. You know what I mean? But I love ballads, but if I could, I would do all of Phil Collins' ballads because they're just great.
I'm making that a request of all of the rest of the members of Showtime. Let's get some more Phil Collins live.
Yeah, more Phil Collins. I love it. Nice. I got a quick announcement. We're not here next week, Justin.
Oh.
I'm going to see Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, it must be nice.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, going to see that. And then I'm probably not going to be in the week after that because it's my birthday.
Dude, wait a minute. Okay, so why don't we get together instead of, maybe swinging the clubs?
I have plans on my birthday.
Oh, you have plans.
And you're more than welcome to come, and I'll tell you what they are after we You're more than welcome.
By the way, Rage Against the Machine, I mean, the fact that you're going to see them is great because, I feel like right now, if you can go see them, is the best because it could be a once-in-a-lifetime a thing for anybody, Yeah. Because you never know.
And Zach De La Rocha, tore his ACL or something, so he's doing all these shows.
Well, between either him getting hurt or losing his fucking mind again, one of two things could happen. Yeah. So this might be the last.
Now, it's all four original members? Tim, Tom, I forget, what's the drummer's name? Brad, I think. Yeah.
Brad
And
Wilkins.
that's awesome. If that with it being all 4 original members, that's sick.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
I think that's
about
awesome.
it. Cool.
Well, you enjoy it.
Thanks, man. It's good to see you guys.
You
Thanks
too.
for coming in, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. And I'll be back tomorrow. I got Jeremy Freeman joining me tomorrow from Upgrade. Shout out to Upgrade, too. Go get this stuff. I'm telling you, it opens up your brain. It combats stress. It combats fatigue. It opens up your brain receptors.
Is it loaded with caffeine?
It's not. There's no caffeine at all. It's
What?
green tea extract and stevia.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of other things in there I can't pronounce. But it's not. Listen, it's not a 5-hour energy.
Dude, the 5-hour energy, I won't take that shit
It's
anymore.
not. This isn't a 5-hour energy. It doesn't make you all sketched out, and it's not caffeine or
I
anything.
thought I was having a heart attack.
This
it was
is
horrible.
more of like liquid Ritalin.
All right. I'm down with that.
Check it out. If you go to freemanformula.com, use promo code Disruption, get yourself a 15% discount. Thank you to EJA Moving Services, Joey's at 307 Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery. My attorney, Dave Longaretta. If you need legal advice, call Dave. He's great. He's been bailing me out of trouble for, 30 years. 315-735-6162. And thank you to Ballwash, ballsy.com, ballwash.com. Promo code members only for a 15% discount. Genesee Joe, I'm coming to see you, big guy. I'm coming for you. We'll see you later.